activists now are fighting back. And a new documentary tells their story. Our Korean winner, she met one of those activists on a trip to the U.S.
Like I told you,
Ugandan native Long Jones is visiting the U.S. for the first time, experiencing something rare for him, a feeling of acceptance.
Actually, I'm just amazed. I'm amazed.
In his homeland, Jones is an object of hatred for being gay.
Someone thinks because you're gay, it's like a virus. I cannot get close to you, I cannot talk to you, I cannot sit next to you.
In Uganda, as in many other African countries, homosexuality is illegal. Gay people are frequently vilified.
Being homosexual, you're the loser. No one will back you up. No one will want to defend you. No one will want to associate with you. So you're basically living in a world of isolation.
There's a way you feel when you know you're unwanted. That's how I feel.
Jones and several other gay rights activists are profiled in a new documentary, Call Me Kuchu, which highlights the political war erupting in Uganda over homosexuality. Some politicians want stiffer punishment, like imprisonment, even death for anyone who is gay.
God's law is that homosexuality is sin. And God's law is always clear that the wages of sin is death.
Death came to Uganda's leading gay rights activist, David Kato, who was murdered last year. The documentary filmmakers were recording at his funeral as clashes broke out between Kato's supporters and detractors. The Ugandan government has sent mixed signals about legal protections for gays. A spokesman told CNN, to his knowledge, no one is currently in prison for being a homosexual. As for Kato's death, he maintained it was a robbery gone wrong, not a hate crime.
Could somebody tell me what's going on?
But the government recently raided a workshop for gay rights activists, and it banned dozens of non-governmental agencies, accusing them of supporting homosexuality.
It is unconscionable to target gays and lesbians for who they are.
President Obama and U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have spoken out against Uganda's policy on gays. And last month, the State Department criticized anti-gay legislation pending in the Ugandan parliament.
We think it's inconsistent with Uganda's international human rights obligations, and it just sets a bad precedent.
Visiting Los Angeles for the documentary's premiere, Jones marveled at how open gays can be in the U.S.
It is quite amazing at how free and acceptable.
And just an example, put a smile on your face. You don't see that in Uganda.
No
when
way.
People say, this is who I am.
No way.
Jones says he's been warned his life is in danger back home.
Waking up one morning, you don't know whether you're going to see another day. It's really hard.
Despite the risks, he says he will soon return to Uganda to resume the campaign for gay rights.
I have to be there because the battle and the struggle is on the ground there. I may not live to see the fruits of the fight, but someday someone will say, we fought for it.
Korean winner, she's joining us now from Los Angeles. Korean, we know that Uganda is not the only country that has anti-gay policies. How widespread is this across Africa?
You know, Suzanne, there are anti-gay laws on the books in many African countries. We're talking about Nigeria, Tanzania, Cameroon, and Zimbabwe, generally with stricter laws against male homosexuality than female homosexuality. South Africa, far and away, has the most gay-friendly policies, but even there, a prominent gay rights activist was brutally murdered recently in an apparent hate crime. Now, Suzanne, as to why so many African countries have anti-gay laws, well, some experts, they attribute it to the influx of American evangelicals who have come to Africa, basically urging people there to combat homosexuality. But you heard Long Jones's story. He's hoping to have quite an influence on his country and beyond, and really, in his own way, change stereotypes out there.
Does he feel like he's risking his life by coming forward?
Absolutely. One of the most revealing parts of the interview, Suzanne, I have to say, is when I asked him, you know, is it worth all this? And he said, Corinne, there's some days where I wish I were gay, you know, that I didn't come forward, but what would that accomplish? There's so many lives to be saved. There's so many minds and, you know, social concepts out there to be influenced, and he feels like he has an important work to do back home, and he says even if he doesn't see the fruits of his labor, that this will have an impact someday. An incredible individual.
Yeah, very brave. Corinne, thank you so much. Appreciate it.